Memorial Day 2020. Whoever thought we'd come to this? A closed Lake Superior Railroad Museum on the start of the tourist season here at the St. Louis County Depot in downtown Duluth. But we're all in this together, and this too shall pass. The most important thing is, though, it's Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day itself, and we pause to thank our veterans, current and past, who fought, risked everything, gave their lives in some cases, for the freedoms we enjoy in this great and beautiful country of ours. We thank you. We're also talking about how the railroads went to war. Yesterday we told you about World War I and the railroads being nationalized. World War II started in 1939 when the Germans invaded Poland. And the U.S. really wasn't in it to the beginning. Oh, we did the Lend-Lease program and we shipped some stuff and we ramped up a little bit. But it wasn't until Pearl Harbor was attacked that America got into the war for good. And then everything changed astronomically overnight. And all of a sudden the railroads were as busy as they could ever be. They shipped everything. All the products, all the munitions, all the tanks, armaments, everything had to go to two coasts to fight on two fronts. The railroads were super busy. And, like in World War I, they weren't prepared for their other biggest commodity that they had to move, and that was people. Military people. Here at the St. Louis County Depot in downtown Duluth originated hundreds of troop trains. The soldiers would form up at the recently completed armory out on London Road. There they would drill, practice, rehearse, prepare for war. And then, on the day of their departure, a proud march down London Road, right up Superior Street, right through the heart of downtown Duluth, right to the Union Depot to board their troop train. And what did they find when they got here? One of the 2,400 special troop train cars built in emergency declaration by the Pullman Company. Really nothing more than glorified boxcars, 40 and 50 feet long, that have been converted into troop haulers. A way to make as many people comfortable, or in this case uncomfortable, as could possibly fit on bunks every which way inside the cars, with very little ventilation. They did have diaphragms so you could walk from car to car and a vestibule, but for the most part, let's think boxcar. 2,400 built by Pullman for the war effort. ACF built 440 kitchen cars to go along with that, and other manufacturers made hospital cars for the sick. They of course went from post to post, base to base, and the railroads carried the men and women that were to fight our war. And as I said, they also carried the commodities. The nationalization that happened in World War I didn't have to happen this time around because the railroads were giving raises, keeping their people employed. There was one short strike, but it was over before it almost began. The nice thing about the war for the railroads was, in one respect, they got more use out of their steam locomotives and didn't have to dieselize until the 50s because the War Powers Board wouldn't let diesels be manufactured. Instead, they made these, the last of the big steam engines. The World War II era was the Yellowstone Malley on the DM&IR to haul iron ore. For the Union Pacific, they called these monsters Big Boys. Other railroads got them to haul coal, also to the furnaces where the iron ore was going to be made into steel to support the war effort on two fronts. These big locomotives pretty much saved the war, but postponed the dieselization until the 1950s. So as these big engines like the Malley were hauling the raw materials of war, the other railroads were hauling the men and women who actually fought the war. And I should point out, even though Pullman made all those Pullman sleeper cars for the grunt soldiers, their commanders still traveled in Pullman first class, just so you know. What happened after the war was, well, of course, we won again, and that's a good thing. Our men and women came home. 1950s were a fabulous time. And they brought back a world perspective with them. Unfortunately for the railroads, though, General Eisenhower brought back something from World War II as well. And I think we all know what it was. So impressed with the German Autobahn, the highway system, which helped Germany prolong the war, Eisenhower, when he became president, thought, we should have one of those. And he started the interstate system. And the interstate system led to longer and bigger and heavier trucks. And that started a demise for the railroad industry that wasn't reversed until the Steigers Act. Well, Memorial Day weekend coming to an end. Hope you have a nice barbecue today. Take a moment, though, to think about the freedoms we have, the men and women who fought so we could have them and preserve them. It's a good thing. It's also a good thing when you wash your hands, cover your cough, don't touch your face, stay home if you're sick, keep that social distance, and let's take care of each other. Happy Memorial Day.